Hey guys, welcome to Autumn's Time. Today we're going to be making whole wheat bread. It is my mom's recipe. It's super easy and easy to split in half if you have a smaller mixer than I do. Let's have some fun. You're going to preheat the oven to the lowest temperature possible. We're going to put 5 cups of hot tap water into your mixer. Okay, and while you have warm water, you do want this to be warm, not hot, because it will kill yeast. This has happened to me before, and make your bread super flat and dense. You want to have 2 tablespoons of yeast. In a separate bowl, and it wants to be a decent size because this will rise. 1 tablespoon of sugar. And just kind of mix that together. And then 1/2 cup of warm water. Okay, and just mix that a little bit so it doesn't stick on the bottom. You do want to rinse off that spoon because that does stick really bad if you don't do that right. Combine the hot water with 7 cups of whole wheat flour, unbleached. Mix until just combined, and then we're going to put in 1.5 tablespoons of salt. And here's a little trick on this. You want to add the oil first, just to make the honey come out easier. You can add 2/3 cup of oil, whatever oil you like best. And 2/3 cup of honey. Okay, and then blend. The yeast is nice and airy and it's come to the top of that bowl. We're going to want to add that and make sure we get all the sugar. We want to make sure we get all the sugar into the bowl as well. That's why we have a spatula. And again, we just want to make sure we rinse this off right away. Otherwise, there'll be some soaking involved. And then we're going to blend this together. One more cup of wheat flour. And you can do all whole wheat, but it does end up being a lot denser of a bread. I like to do 1/2 and 1/2, and they turn out a little fluffier, and just my preference. So the rest of the flour will be white. if you pulse the mixer like that, the flour doesn't go everywhere in your kitchen. So then we want to add 4 to 6 more cups of flour, and I'll show you how you can tell when the flour is done. When you're done adding, I'll show you when you're done adding the flour and what that will look like. There's 1. See how the edges of the mixer are clean? That's when you want to stop adding the flour. And then you just want to mix a little longer until all the flour is combined with the dough, but you don't want to mix too long because then the bread will be tough and a little too dense. Alright, so I'm just laying out a mat to put my bread dough on. And I'm oiling it. And then just gonna get the bread dough off the paddles as you're taking it off out of the mixer. Because why waste that delicious bread dough? Also, why make washing that much harder? Okay, we're going to put the bread dough onto your mat or your counter. You can do this directly onto a clean counter, obviously, and oil it, or onto parchment paper or wax paper, oiled, obviously. So you want to make this into a nice square, because this is making 4 loaves of bread. And you want a nice, large serrated knife. You can see that serration. And you want to do long, quick strokes down the middle, and then separate. And then do the same the other direction. Then you're gonna want to turn your oven off, grease all 4 sides, and then the bottom of your bread pans. And then you're gonna take the individual blocks of dough we cut out, and you want to fold under all the way around until you get a really pretty top like that. And just lay it like a baby in a cradle. So it looks like that. Okay, so now we're going to let this rise for 35 to 40 minutes in the oven that we just turned off. And then I'll show you what that will look like before we turn that on to bake it. Alright, you can tell that one of those didn't get quite as much dough, but those are ready to go. They've risen for 45 minutes. And we're setting this at 350 for about 40 minutes. We will check this about 10 minutes before it's done. Alright, so there's about 10 minutes left, and there's not really any golden brown there, so I'm going to leave it in for the last 10 minutes. See how wonderful golden brown this is? Just a little crispy on top, not too hard. So you do want to get these out pretty quickly of the pan so they don't sweat. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can see. It is steaming, but it is also golden brown around the edges. That's when you know it's done. They come out really, really cleanly if you sprayed it correctly. But if you do leave it in the pan, it can sweat and make your bread a little soggy. So you want to get these out pretty quickly. This bread is delicious with sandwiches. Really good right out of the oven. Really good right out of the oven. Really good right out of the oven with butter and honey. I hope you try it and you have a wonderful day.